One of the frustrations of having only limited table space and a whole bunch of new games coming in from GMT that dying to get them on the table, and yet I don't have a whole lot of gaming time to pour into Third World War. It's one of the frustrations of life. Does any other war gamers deal with this? It's an exciting enough game, but I can see after 4 turns that things are tilting in the Soviets' favor to a point where the Soviets are not going to win any great victory, but NATO has taken some serious exchange losses, and so they don't have the units, I think, to push the Soviets out of a marginal victory parameter. So they're just not going to be able to leverage their capabilities enough to get into the marginal NATO victory area of the victory spectrum. So, having enjoyed the heck out of this, even though it's not quite done, I really want to play some other things. So I'm going to have to pack this one up tonight. Thought I'd just shoot a quick video, tell the story of Turn 4. The air war, Soviets never quite got defeated in the air by NATO. NATO had the opportunity to really put the hammer down, and you wouldn't believe the terrible luck. The F-111s only flew, 2 turns? 2 out of 4 turns? Couldn't get them to recover for 2 whole turns. On one occasion, they were aborted. The occasion, this last turn, where they got 5 dice to hit the runways, they rolled 1s and 2s on all 5 dice. So that's just a gut punch, because NATO couldn't ever quite get the level of air superiority necessary to really turn back the ground attack. So the Soviets just keep grinding guys forward, and they're taking disruption losses, but NATO can't quite get enough of an edge to make the counterattacks to finish off some of these situations here. Munich is probably going to fall this turn by the end of turn 4. That Munich is pretty much done for. That's another 2 points. Add that to the list, and then you get a whole new problem, because that begins to outflank the Austrian position. Meanwhile, the Italians got defeated in Slovenia, and so they're going to have to pull back, try to hold this front here, narrow the front right there. And the Soviets are probably content just to do that, because they're holding down some critical units that could be much more useful over here. But it was a series of exchange results in this pocket here, and some serious defeats up here. The only place where the Pact suffered a bloody nose was in the attack on the 5th Infantry, U.S. 5th Infantry Division, with A-10 support. That pretty much gave everybody in this little crescent a bloody nose. But there's not enough strength to push this salient back without risking utter disaster. You're too close to the Ruhr now to take any kind of a setback in a ground attack that enables the Soviets to leverage that on their following turn, and there's a ton of points to be had there. In the course of the game, the Soviets did try some airborne. They got frisky in the air and were repulsed. But they're in a situation now where, they got an airborne division, the 106 Guards, or was it the 103 Guards? 103 Guards division is ready to be used again, and NATO has no more air units in defense. They were all critical battles. They had to use all of their air power just fending off the first Soviet impulses. So you have that threat lingering. You have the threat of the Hungarian paratroopers also being used at some point to outflank the Italian positions here. Bottom line is, if I was playing the campaign game, I would probably be shifting assets from other fronts, assuming that those other fronts are doing better than what's happening here in Germany, to help NATO's position here, because the NATO position here is just getting ground down. But they're holding on enough that the Soviets, it's kind of frustrating on the Soviet side, because they can't quite get the victory that they want to get. But I don't think that that's entirely out of reach for them. So, long story short, I'm just going to go ahead and call this one a minor Soviet victory. And this is just a fantastic system. I love the remake. Love everything about it. I just wish I had more table space so I could leave this set up or even have the whole thing set up. But like I said, I got some new games I really want to try, and it's just like, I want to get them on the table, so I'm going to have to pack this guy up. So there you have it. Third World War, Compass Games Designer Signature Edition. Awesome product.